The geopolitical chessboard of the 21st century is increasingly being shaped by shifting dynamics between the United States and Asia, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India and US President Donald Trump standing at the forefront of this changing landscape. Their political alignment, marked by a strong personal bond and shared economic, defense, and diplomatic goals, has the potential to redefine global power structures, especially concerning Europe. As the world watches, it is crucial to understand how Modi and Trump, though separated by an ocean, share a vision that deeply aligns on critical issues like global trade, security, and evolving role of China. This alignment is pushing Europe into a difficult position, forcing the European Union to reconsider its own strategies as it faces a united front between two economic giants. One of most significant areas where Modi and Trump converge is their stance on trade. Both leaders have championed America First and India First policies, focusing on national interest and securing better trade deals for their respective countries. Under Modi's leadership, India has sought to boost its manufacturing sector, limit the influence of foreign goods, and protect local industries, similar to Trump's America First economic policy that challenged multinational trade agreements and imposed tariffs on Chinese goods. This shared protectionist and nationalist trade rhetoric directly impacts Europe and Beijing, particularly when it comes to its relationships with both nations. Trump's aggressive stance on China, coupled with India's growing economy, might make Europe's dependence on China less tenable. The EU now finds itself navigating a more complex economic environment, where it may have to balance its deep trade ties with China, while also aligning with the US and India in a bid to secure its own interest. Security is another domain where Trump-Modi alliance has found a common ground. Both leaders have expressed desire to counter China's growing influence, especially in the Indo-Pacific. Modi's leadership in strengthening India's military presence in the Indian Ocean and increasing defense ties with US mirrors Trump's aggressive stance towards Beijing. Under the Quad, the US, India, Japan, and Australia are increasingly positioning themselves as a counterbalance to China's military and economic reach. Europe, with its own security challenges, finds itself in a tough spot. While the EU has traditionally sought to maintain its strong ties with China, particularly in economic and trade matters, both India and US have encouraged Europe to play a more active role in countering China's influence. But Europe's reluctance to fully confront China due to its economic interest and historical ties puts it in an awkward position, torn between aligning with the West and its dependence on Chinese market. As Modi and Trump continue to push forward their vision for a reshaped global order, Europe faces a difficult strategic dilemma. Europe, under the leadership of figures like French President Emmanuel Macron, has called for greater strategic autonomy, advocating for an EU that isn't reliant on US security guarantees or Chinese economic power. However, with the US and India moving closer together on defense and trade, Europe may need to reconsider its own foreign policy framework to maintain its influence. Will Europe continue to foster its ties with China, or will it be forced to align itself more closely with geopolitical goals of US or maybe India? The coming years will tell if US can assert its independence or if it will be drawn into a more tightly knit US-led strategic web. In conclusion, as Modi and Trump form an increasingly powerful partnership on global stage, Europe's role in the New World Order remains uncertain. The EU will need to carefully navigate these challenges, balancing its economic interest, security concerns, and relationships with both Asia and Europe. The coming geopolitical shifts will test Europe's ability to adapt a rapidly changing international landscape.